What's up, guys? I'm Ryan and this is LHN Films. This video is going to be on who I think the top 20 centers are in the NHL based on only the 2019-20 season. So I'm just going to give a quick analysis on each player, and this was a pretty tough list to make. Players could definitely easily be moved up or down, but this is what I have. So to start us off, at number 20 we have Anthony Cirelli. He's definitely one of the more underrated players in the NHL. He had 44 points in 68 games, which is really good considering he did not get much power play time. He's an elite defensive center and plays top-line minutes for one of the best teams in the league in Tampa Bay. Once he gets the puck, he doesn't give it away. He's just a really good player. At number 19, we have Ryan O'Reilly. He had 61 points this year, but that's not why he's on this list entirely. He is an elite defensive center, one of the best defensive centers in the game. But obviously he's very good offensively too with those 61 points. He's a very good playmaker. He's tied for 10th in even strength assists in the league with Matthew Barzal. He takes the puck away a lot and doesn't give it up very often. The only reason that he's not higher on this list is he's not a great skater. It takes away from his overall game, though he's still a phenomenal player. At number 18, we have Patrice Bergeron. He had 56 points in 61 games this year, though it was pretty obvious that age caught up to him a little bit, even though he was still a great player. His point totals were a bit inflated due to his line mates playing with Marchand and Pastrnak. He wasn't quite as good defensively as in the past, but was still very good defensively. He's still great at stealing the puck and not giving it up. Still a great face-off man, but I think he declined a little bit this year, so I'm keeping him at 18. At number 17, we have Matthew Barzal. He had 60 points this season. He's an elite playmaker and puck handler, very fast skater. He's just okay defensively, nothing special there. To be considered to be higher on this list, he needs to produce a bit more for sure. I think the reason his point totals are a bit lower are because he plays in Trotz's defensive system. Again, he's tied for 10th in even strength assists with Ryan O'Reilly. He is actually pretty good at stealing the puck, but he does give it away a lot too. So at number 16, we have Alexander Barkov. He put up 62 points this year. He's a phenomenal player in the offensive zone. He's okay defensively, but I think his defensive game is definitely a bit overrated. I don't think he's a Selke contender at all, though he's still solid defensively. Overall, he's just a really good player, and I think he deserves to be at the 16 spot. At number 15, we've got John Tavares. He had 60 points in 63 games, but I think he kind of had a down season for his standards. He's very good offensively, and he's solid defensively too, but not like totally insane anywhere compared to some other guys. I think his skating definitely holds him back from being higher on this list because he's a very talented player, but I think 15 is a good spot for him. At number 14, we have Sebastian Aho. He had 66 points this year, with 38 of them being goals because he is a great goal scorer. He was top 10 in even strength goals this season. He's also very good on the penalty kill. He was tied for the league lead in shorthanded goals, and he's one of the main reasons that Carolina had a good penalty kill. What's kind of weird about him is he wasn't really that good defensively 5-on-5 while being elite on the penalty kill, so I thought that was pretty strange. But his goal scoring ability and elite level on the penalty kill makes him 14 on my list. So at number 13, we have got Mark Scheifele. He put up 73 points this year, so he's just over a point per game player. He's very elite offensively and drove the Jets' top line. He wasn't that great defensively this year, though, but his offensive ability definitely makes up for that. He's top 10 in even strength assists. He's got a very, very good shot, and he's very good at creating high danger chances. He knows how to get in those high scoring areas. At number 12, we have Steven Stamkos. He put up 66 points in 57 games this season. He's obviously a great passer and a great shooter. He did spend some time on the wing this season playing with Braden Point and Nikita Kucherov, so that definitely would make up for one of the best lines in the league. And he's just one of the most skilled players in the NHL, so I have him at 12. At number 11, this one is probably going to upset people. I got Sidney Crosby there. He had 47 points in 41 games this year. It's obvious he's elite offensively, one of the best players of all time, great playmaker. But he drops to 11 because he didn't play as many games. I mean, only 41 makes it hard to consider him up higher just because this is based on only this season. But his defensive game was not as good this year. I think that was partially due to injury. So I'm definitely expecting him to rebound next year, and I would expect him to be in the top 3. but for this year, I gotta put him at 11. At number 10, we've got Evgeny Malkin. He had a ridiculous 74 points in only 55 games. He's a fine defensive player, but in the offensive zone, he is just insane. Once he gets the puck, it's so hard to steal for him. He's so strong. One of the reasons I only have him at 10 is because he takes a lot of penalties, takes a lot more penalties compared to anyone else I have on this list, and that definitely hurts the team. But his elite offensive ability puts him at 10, and there's definitely an argument to be made to put him higher. At number 9, we have Mika Zibanejad. He had a ridiculous 75 points in 57 games, and he also scored 41 goals. So he led the league in goals per game this year. He wasn't the best defensively 5-on-5, but was okay in the penalty kill. He was tied for 5th in shorthanded goals, which is really good. He obviously has a great shot and knows how to get in high danger scoring areas, and he's a pretty good skater too, had a very high shooting percentage, but I had to keep him at 9 because that goal scoring ability this year was just unreal. At number 8, we have Jack Eichel. He put up 78 points this year, and he really carried that Buffalo team. I can't even imagine what would have happened to them if he got hurt. He's just okay defensively. Not elite, but definitely not bad. In the offensive zone, definitely one of the best players in the NHL. He was tied for 3rd in the league in game-winning goals. He's just an amazing player. At number 7, it is Elias Patterson. He had 66 points this year. He is just amazing at controlling the play in the offensive zone, and he's underrated defensively. I never realized how good defensively he was until I looked at his advanced stats, and I was in shock. He's so good defensively, especially for his young age. He's got one of the better shots in the league, and he's got all the tools to be a great playmaker. Vancouver definitely got him at a steal with the number 5 pick. At number 6, we've got Leon Draisaitl. He led the league in points with 110 this year. He's a leader on the power play. He's definitely one of the best offensive players in the game. He tied for 2nd with Nathan MacKinnon in even strength assists. He tied for the league lead in game-winning goals, and he's got a very high shooting percentage, so he's got a great shot. The only reason he falls to 6 is because he is not good at all on defense. It really hurts his overall value on how he impacts the game, but offensively, I would say he's top 2, so I had to still keep him high on the list. At number 5, we've got Sean Couturier. He is so amazing defensively, one of the best defensive centers in the game. Is definitely a Selke candidate. He gets the puck out of the defensive zone and brings it into the offensive zone better than maybe anyone. He only had 59 points this year, but he's still a beast in the offensive zone. His point totals definitely don't reflect his actual offensive zone impact. He's got a pretty good shot, he's a pretty good passer, and when he's on the ice, he's usually controlling the game. He's a big reason as to why the Flyers were so successful this year, and his advanced stats are just off the charts. At number 4, we've got Braden Point. And like Couturier, he is elite everywhere on the ice. He can play against anyone. He got 64 points this year, which is still really good. He's top 10 in even strength assists. He's got a very good shot. He's a very good passer. He rarely takes penalties, which I definitely value. When he's on the ice, Tampa gets so many great scoring opportunities, and he impacts the game more than almost anyone in the NHL. Tampa just dominates the game when he's on the ice, and like Couturier, he's got very, very good advanced stats. At number 3, we've got Austin Matthews. He is an elite goal scorer, which everyone knows. He had 47 goals this year and 80 points. But he is a lot better defensively than people give him credit for. He actually leads the league in takeaways for centers, which I wouldn't have expected from him. And he doesn't give the puck away a lot, and he's just a very good 5-on-5 player. He also rarely takes penalties. He takes the least amount of penalties compared to everyone else on this list. So that's why I have him at number 3. At number 2, we have Nathan MacKinnon. He's definitely a Hart Trophy candidate this year. He had 93 points. He's phenomenal offensively while being just okay defensively. He's tied for 2nd in the league with Draisaitl and even strength assists. He gets lots of pucks to the net and leads the league in shots on goal. He's an elite playmaker. He also rarely takes penalties, and his impact in the offensive zone is just insane. He scores so many goals, gets so many assists, while being fine defensively. That brings an insane amount of value for the Avalanche. And at number 1, to nobody's surprise, we've got Connor McDavid, and it's just pretty simple. He's got the best offensive impact out of anyone in the league by quite a bit. He's just unstoppable in the offensive zone. Put up 97 points. He's the best player on the power play. He's really not that good at defense, but his overall offensive impact just totally overvalues that. And I feel like he's bad on defense because he doesn't really try as hard as he could. I think he's got all the tools to be elite defensively as well, but for this season he was just great offensively, and based on that I still had to keep him at number 1 on my list. So what would you change on my list? Comment below. I know there's going to be angry people for the Crosby pick, but that's okay. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.